Hello everybody, it's the GYAT tier list. This is the video you have all been waiting for. The Marvel Rivals GYAT tier list. Now I know all of you have seen the Marvel Rivals characters. They all have some pretty large assets on them. The character designers, they went ham. Shall be getting on our hands and knees and saying thank you to them because my god. But today, I'm going to be ranking every single one of the characters. Even Jeff the Shark, no matter how morally wrong that feels. There are going to be several variables that will be put into play here. The very first variable I'd be taking into consideration is the attractiveness, the face. I mean, let's be honest. If it's a 2 out of 10, but she got a 10 out of 10 seat cushion, then she's like C tier, okay? That's how this works. Another variable we're taking into consideration are the honkers, the knockers. I can't think of any other words or terms that would not get me banned for life. And finally, the last variable, which is probably the most obvious one for this video, the GYATs, the wagons, the cabooses, whatever you want to say. If it's large, then they're probably on S tier. Let's be honest. Let's keep it a buck. And then there are some other variables which, we'll be taking into consideration, which you will see later in the video. But without further ado, let's get on to it. All right, the first character we're going to be reviewing is Adam Warlock. Now, he actually has a very attractive face. I'm not going to lie. If I was attracted to men, Adam Warlock might be at the top of my list. And so, yeah, I'm going to put him at the top of the list for men.
What do you mean by that?
Just off of face alone, I think I know what I'm going to do. Based on face, I'm going to give him a B because he's kind of lacking in the asset region. He's going B. His face kind of carries him. He has good hair as well. Next up, we got Black Panther. King of Wakanda, so he already has aura points on the table. And plus, he's got that BBC. Black Panther already has the genetics, bro. Let's be honest. He's got them genetics. He inherited those genetics, fair and square. He's hung like an elephant's trunk. And you know what? Because of this, I'm going to lower Adam Warlock down to C. Alright, next up on the list. Oh my god. We got Black Widow. Now, she's already checking all of my boxes. Because hear me out. If we just looking at her head on, right? She's already built like an hourglass. Her face, 10 out of 10. She looks like she wants to pin you down and interrogate you. Alright, so she's got 10 out of 10 face. The milkers. Can I even say that on YouTube? I'm not sure. The milkers are milking. Let's just say you could feed a family of 6 with those jugs. And I don't even have to talk about the asset. She's in tight leggings, and you can clearly see the outline. There's just no debate. Black Widow is S tier. Next up on the list, we got the Hulk. Now, this guy's interesting because he has 2 forms. Alright, he's got the skinny beta male, which, let's be honest, is D tier. But then he has his winter arc. He goes on that giant bulk and becomes the Hulk. He can just completely dominate you. No means yes to the Hulk, let's be honest. Because of just his dominant aura, and I like to be pinned down in bed, I'm putting him at B. B for bulk. Alright, next up on the list, we got Captain America. I do believe that the super soldier serum that he injected into his body is similar to pineapple juice, if I'm not mistaken, so you already know that his Johnson juice smells fresher than Febreze. This guy is just overall a clean guy. I'm gonna put him at B too. And you know what? This feels like a crime to have Adam Warlock so low because he's just so handsome. I'm also putting him at B. Next on our list. This one is just a package deal. 2 for 1. We got Cloak and Dagger. Now hear me out. Cloak is just a fine black man. He's already selling me with that beautiful light skin stare. And I don't even need to say anything about Dagger. She might be skinny. She's got that slim build. But she's the type that is like, I'd ask to fart in a jar and send it to me. But just because, she's a 2 for 1 deal. She's got a massive dong. Pot weight. Hold on. Next up, we got Doctor Strange, and I think he likes to keep it freaky. I mean, he's got strange in his name, so you know he's strange in the sheets. Alright, I'm giving him... I would put him D, but just because he has magical powers, I'm putting him C. I think it's only fair. Alright, next up is Groot, and I don't really have to say anything. He's literally just sticks. Although, now that I think about it. Next up on the list, we got Hawkeye. He is a pretty fine man, though. I do appreciate his man bun. And to be honest, he's just a good-looking guy. I can, you know, you can tell he takes care of himself. He gives himself pedicures, probably. He puts on makeup when he wakes up. You know, he takes care of himself. And so I'd imagine that he mows the lawn down there. So, for that, I'm going to put him at A tier. During a game, you don't last long when he's out there, and I imagine it's the same for in the bedroom. Next up on the list, we got Hela, and I'ma be honest, I just want a dommy mommy to tie me down, pin me up, throw giant knives at me that one-shot me when I'm playing freaking comp, and it pisses me off, so I'm putting her at D tier. First of all, I mean, look at her face. You can tell she's a freak. Second of all, move just a little bit down there. Yep, there you go. I don't even need to say anything. Third of all, she's got a 90-degree arch. I mean, this thing looks like a freaking square. You can place a square on her back and it line up perfectly. S tier. I have no other words. Next on the list is Iron Fist. I mean, he's a fine Asian man, and he can fist you pretty hard. I mean, you gotta imagine he keeps his wrists pretty strong, so just think about it. A tier, unfortunately. Next on our list, Iron Man. Now you might be thinking, it's just a guy in a metal suit. I mean, there's not much to it, D tier. But hear me out, right? If we turn him around, you say, okay, that's just the metal suit. What are you gonna do with the metal suit? When there's a will, there's a way, okay? I can just imagine underneath that suit, his wagon is so large, it's pressing up against the iron on his suit. I gotta imagine, like, whenever he takes that thing off, it just, like, pops out. So because of this, he's going S tier. Next up, we got a baby shark, and that would be a crime if I put him anywhere other than D tier. He's a combination between a shark, a baby, and a dog. And those are two things you should not have sex with. Alright, next up on our list, we got Loki. Now, this guy's interesting, okay? He creates real versions of himself with magic. Sounds like a shadow clone jutsu. You're getting all the holes filled. So because of this, he's going B tier because, I mean, he doesn't have much going for him other than he can just create multiple versions of himself. Next on our list, Luna Snow. Fine Asian shawty. 10 out of 10 face. Decent face warmers. And a pretty curvy Siamese twin spheres. She's going S tier again. Next on our list is Magik. She's got a giant shish kebab. I want to get skewered by that thing. Her grip strength, imagine that, but on your shish kebab. Just saying. Okay, guys. Imagine how well she can pull on your pork stick. Jerk your Johnson. But despite her not having, you know, skin-tight fabric, you can still see a good outline. Maybe if she was, you know, not wearing any clothes at all, she'd go S tier. But it's, you know, it's the jorts for me. I can't look at it well enough. Okay, I can't. Next on our list is Magneto. You cannot use those powers on my Johnson because it is not made of metal. Believe it or not. C tier. Why not? Next on my list, I hate her with a passion. By the way, Mantis. Her face. You know, I'm more into like a more humanoid looking face. I can't really imagine that there's much going on under there anyways. You can already tell that she's super skinny. And not that that's a problem. She's not going to do too well on the GYAT tier list. So she's going to go below some men here, which is kind of weird. And feels very wrong to me. But you know what? It's fine. B tier. You know what? Nah, C tier. Alright, next on the list, I'm going to make it short and sweet. Just like this guy's stick shift. Moon Knight. I already hate his freaking powers. Nah, I mean, he's Moon Knight, bro. I can't even see his face. He's D tier. Next on my list is Naymar. He is pretty fine looking, so I'm gonna put him in B tier. I mean, he's pretty muscular. You can see his abs. Next on my list, Wolverine. Now this guy has adamantium skeleton, which I'd imagine is fairly heavy. So if you try to go reverse cowgirl style, I would probably die. My hips would probably shatter in an instant. But honestly, like, he's just a redneck dude. He's going C tier. Next on my list is the Aura Master himself, Bucky Barnes. He looks good. His ult is pretty fun. Again! And you know I'd be asking for it again. So I'm gonna put him in solid B tier. Because, you know what? I'm moving up to A tier because, let's be honest, he's got that long hair you can grip onto. Next on the list is Venom. Now, I know I said that I like a more humanoid face, but hear me out. What that tongue do? That tongue can go into every single crack and crevice that you want it to. You gotta go S tier. I mean, that tongue, and to be honest, like, he's pretty cheeked up, to be honest. He's caked up on a Thursday night, baby. Next on the list is the Viking Thor, Odinson himself. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, he's just an old guy, just like Magneto, but hear me out, right? Thor has, you know, electrical powers, and needless to say, it'd probably be shocking. He's just going B tier. I don't really know where to put him. Next on my list is Storm. I've got some words to say because she's got a whole chair on her back. I mean, that Arch game has got to be the best I've ever seen on a character. Also, she can go Beyblade, Beyblade, let it rip mode into my butthole. Like, her body is just, like, upscaled. Every proportion is massive. She's also very pretty. S tier. Next on the list is this annoying motherfricker. It's just a guy with guns. D tier, because I don't even know what he looks like. Next on my list, I'm putting Peni Parker, Spiderman. He can shoot sticky webs out of his cuticles. I'm not quite sure where he shoots them out from. I mean, he's Spider-Man, so I'm inclined to just put him A tier. He's in skin-tight suit, and he can shoot webs. I mean, that's also one of my superpowers, but it doesn't stay sticky for long. Next on my list, Rocket Raccoon. I would feel disgusting the whole time. It's just a raccoon. D tier. Next on my list is Punisher. Now, you know this guy is racist. Big burly man with a gun. I do like his hair though, it's pretty thick. B tier. Next on my list is Squirrel Girl. She deserves her own rank, and let me explain why. Ever since I was a young little lad, I had dreamed about getting crushed between a big giant dommy mommy's thighs. Squirrel Girl's a pretty big girl. She's kind of thick with 15 C's after it. I don't care that she's a squirrel, okay? I mean, you can grab onto that tail. The motion of the ocean on Squirrel Girl. Next on my list is Peni Parker. Now, this is my main in Marvel Rivals. I know, make fun of me, guys, okay? She's easy to play. Despite her very petite size, you know, she's probably like 4 foot or something. Also, how old is she? I gotta triple check. You know what? For the sake of this, she's 18 in my books. Next on the list is Psylocke. And oh my gosh! She's got hella grip, hella skill. I mean, she's probably got the best looking face out of everyone. She's gotta go S tier. Now, Scarlet Witch. I'm gonna be honest, I've never really played Scarlet Witch because, you know, I like having skill. I like playing hard characters, not just a character where you have to hold down a button. She's very pretty and a redhead, which I can appreciate. For the sake of this, though, I'm just gonna say A tier. And there you go. This is the ideal. This is the perfect tier list, I think. If a genie were to come up to me and ask me for 3 wishes, I would just say Squirrel Girl and refuse to elaborate. There you have it. This is the Marvel Rivals GYAT tier list. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I probably won't be uploading for a little while now since I'm going on Christmas break with my family, and I also just have senior year to deal with. But hey, if you're in a similar boat or just in a trying time, lock in, you got this. Keep moving forward, believe in yourself, and have a good one. Thanks for watching. subscribe.
I just love my dog.